Well, final exams are fast approaching for students, and that can turn your home into a bit of a war zone. Colleen Ryan from Mountain View Academy joining us this morning with some advice on how to help you get through these study sessions. Good morning, Colleen.
Good morning.
And really, you think about it, you got your provincial achievement test, you've got the diplomas for the kids in grade 12. This is a stressful time for the kids, but also for the parents.
Very often the parents are the ones that are monitoring what's going on with the children. You ask the kids what they did at school, they go, nothing, which is so frustrating. So we have to, as parents and teachers, keep on them and make sure that they are preparing.
Okay, keep on them. Where does that fine line between keeping on them and nagging them
well,
stop?
To most kids, any kind of are you doing your homework is nagging.
Okay.
But primarily, you need to start early. You need to have a plan and places to study and times to study in September when kids go back to school. A lot of times we don't realize that, and we're scrambling in May, going, oh, you have a test next week? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? So first of all, September, study plan. When, where, and how.
Okay, that's September.
Well, if we've missed that, now, online, if you go to your child's school website, they very often have the exam schedule. If it doesn't come home in the backpack express, you know how that goes sometimes. A lot of schools have homework boards that parents can have a look at, the agenda as well. So that you can sit down with your child and say, you have an exam in language arts in the middle of June. How are we going to prepare for that now, each night?
Colleen, I wonder if sometimes, though, for kids, just the idea of studying, let's say for a final or a diploma, is overwhelming. And I know it would help if you had planned a lot earlier, but almost to the point of, where do I begin to study this subject? Well,
kids' brains are very different than adult brains, and they don't a lot of times have that rationality to it where they can do that sitting down and focusing. So sometimes you just have to have a sit down with your child and say, look, we know you're stressed, but if we work together and do this in little bits, you can do it. You've got to maintain some of their self-esteem, because they lose so much of that, and then they feel like the parents coming in saying, you're going to do this now, and then they just get very resentful.
Okay, break it up into smaller bits.
Very much,
Some kids do deal with or have exam anxiety, that they almost, no matter how much they study, then they go into that classroom to write the test and something happens.
A lot of our kids have suffered from that this year, and we've actually brought a team of counselors in to work with them. And one of the things that the counselors have told us is that practice the setting. You know, have kids come into a room and sit down and feel like they're preparing for the exam, and hand out papers and pencil and sort of get them to start doing some drawing. Even something like that, just so that they have a sense of what it's like to be in that environment.
And maybe talk to your teacher if you think your child does suffer from something like that. Colleen, thanks for bringing in the suggestions. 8:26, and of course, for more great parenting ideas, pick up your free copy of Calgary's Child Magazine at all McDonald's restaurants, schools, and sports facilities around the city.